For some reason that I don't quite remember, I really wanted to get a camera when I was about 19 years old and start photographing. I taught myself through about 5 years of work, just photographing the things that I found to be important. There was no concept of what is reportage, what is journalism, what is art, just wanting to create images through the lens. And after spending a lot of time backpacking in Latin America, I focused in on social issues in Bolivia. Little by little, I started to do long-term work, mostly on my own, and publishing in magazines and newspapers. I became very informed about Bolivia. I was living in Bolivia for many years. I'd start to get assignments with the Washington Post, with the New York Times. That led towards people understanding my work. I've always just sort of felt that teaching myself photography has allowed me to not feel the pressure to fit inside any particular trend or moment in the photographic world. This is my first time in an international photo festival, and I think that this project is representative of the way that I tell stories, which is coming at it from a human perspective and from a personal way, looking at an issue such as climate change, but through the eyes of the tribes who are being affected by it, in this case in East Africa. This work is from southern Ethiopia and northern Kenya. It's an area that has traditionally been nomadic. Through today, the people live, taking their animals far distances to get grass and to get water. And at the same time, depending upon the natural flooding of the Omo River, of Lake Turkana, to plant agriculture. Because of the lack of rainfall in the last 25 years, especially in the last 4 or 5, the tribes have had to go further for pasture and for water, and that has resulted in more conflict. I come from the United States, and as you know, we are the greatest contributors towards climate change, along with Western Europe and increasingly more China and India. We have contributed towards the fact that these people can't get water or have to kill each other over grass. My greatest technique is patience, which is also the hardest. I think that we all have the tendency to just want to jump in and see everything, maybe from the reporter's eye. We want the story, we want it now. But you have to travel 6 weeks or 8 weeks maybe to get a couple of pictures. So maybe even a couple of years. With the case of my experience in Bolivia, it took me 4 years. I find the capitalist mentality that has been branded in the United States to be quite disturbing. So to spend time with people that are still living in a traditional lifestyle, to me is refreshing, and it's also very important to bring to a Western audience. This is a great place to be. Noorderlicht is very respected. I come from New York and we know about this. This is a very important festival. Because, at least for me, it's because of the curatorial selection, the different stories that are brought together and the way that they speak to each other. I think that we all are different voices in the world, and it's quite international, the stories that are here. So this is a way to see things not just from the journalist's perspective, but from the artist's perspective, from the photographer's perspective, across many different mediums and approaches to storytelling. So I'm really happy to be here because I feel like it's a proud event as a photographer to be a part of.